So whenever an international student moves to the UK, and it doesn't matter for healthcare degrees or otherwise, one of the top things on their mind is not only to find a degree that provides valuable education, but also to find a way to come and make a new life for themselves when they move to the UK, get better job opportunities, better pay, and just generally have a much better quality of life while they are living here. And while the UK and the US has offered this over the past couple of years, in the present time, it's gotten competitively harder for students to land jobs, not only because job markets have been particularly tough, but also because immigration policies are now being used against students and the incoming student load has actually gone down quite a bit. So in today's video, I will be chatting to you about what university degrees you should be taking as an international student within the healthcare streams if you are interested in landing a role in the UK, and what are the degrees you are meant to be avoiding, because a lot of y'all are reaching out to me asking me about whether you should be opting for a certain degree or not. So I'm hoping to answer all of these questions and give you so much more from this video. But before we move ahead, my name is Nikita and I make videos about moving to the UK as a healthcare professional. I myself work here as a band 7 physio, so I think I might be able to give you a good few tips. And if you are interested in moving to the UK as a healthcare professional and finding a job, then do not forget to subscribe to this channel, but also follow me on Instagram. My handle is Physiotherapy in UK, where I put out daily updates about living in the UK and helping you succeed. So let's get into the details of today's video. You are most likely on this video because you are a healthcare professional. That might be a physiotherapist, occupational therapist, speech and language therapist, nurse, or any other degree, but you are interested in coming to the UK and are considering the student route, or might be looking to be a student in the UK at some point over the next year or 2 years. And that is a great start because you are proactively trying to improve your life right now. But let's be honest, not all degrees in the UK are going to lead to job opportunities, especially in the NHS, which is one of the biggest sponsors of healthcare jobs in the UK. Now, I have seen so many students spend over £20,000 to £35,000 on degrees that they think are valuable or that they think are from a good university, and are not landing a job, let alone getting registered with the appropriate registration body to start practicing as a healthcare professional. And this is where comes the first and the most important thing, which is the harsh truth that most UK universities or degrees do not directly lead to job opportunities. Now, here is a fact that a lot of people who are in the UK are aware, but a lot of international students are not, is most UK master's programs are academic and not training you professionally. So they are basically designed to teach you the theory skills, the research skills. They are giving you the theory based on leadership skills, but they are not really giving you anything related to the clinical practice or the license to practice in the UK. So a lot of y'all might think, oh yeah, I'm going to do my MSc in exercise physiology, I am going to do my global health management, I'm going to do advanced physiotherapy MSc, and that's going to give me my HCPC registration. But that's not true. That is not what happens in the UK, because unless your degree is from a university and that particular course is HCPC approved, you cannot practice or you cannot be registered to practice as a physiotherapist, occupational therapist, speech and language therapist, or any other allied healthcare professional unless you've got that registration. So what you've got to remember is when you are checking for a particular course in a particular university, always go ahead and check if they are HCPC approved. So here are 3 things for you to check before you even invest the money in a course. Firstly, check if that degree is HCPC or NMC registered or approved. The second thing you want to check is, does it include any clinical practice or supervised placement? Because that gives you a little bit of an entry point into what clinical practice might look like. And again, that gives you a bit of an exposure into what the working conditions might look like, which helps you answer interview questions much better when you are looking for employment at the end of your degree. And finally, check if that degree, course or university helps you meet the registration requirements and the visa requirements that you need to land a job in the UK. Only if it has met all of these 3 criteria, then you have chosen the right course and the right university for yourself. On to the second part of this video, which is obviously thinking about master programs that actually make a difference to your life. Now, obviously, when you are going through the brochures and the different university websites, you are bombarded with loads of different information, and that is completely fine. But if you are a physiotherapist, occupational therapist, or any other allied healthcare professional or a nurse, there are a few certain master programs in the UK that can actually make you a bit more employable to the employer once you've completed your degree. Now, again, there are two main types of degree courses over here for you to consider. One is obviously the pre-registration MSc programs, and then you have the advanced practice MSc programs. Now, if you are confused about the pre-registration versus the MSc programs, do let me know in the comments below, and I will send you more information about it directly. But just for the sake of helping you understand a bit more clearly, say for example, if you are a nurse and are interested in transitioning over to a physiotherapy degree, or say for example, if you are a lab technician and are looking to transition into a physiotherapy degree, the MSc pre-registration programs might be a good option for you, because these are programs designed for people who are not trained to be physiotherapists. However, if you are a physiotherapist already, I wouldn't recommend you going on for a pre-registration MSc physiotherapy program. I hope that makes sense. But again, like I said, if you would like more information about it, comment down in the comment section below and I'll send you more details about it directly. However, coming on to the more advanced or the clinical specialized type of MSc programs which are out there, and these are just a few different types of ones out there for yourself. You can obviously choose to go into these programs, but what you've got to remember is that most of these programs are made for clinicians who are already in the UK and are looking to transition to band 7 or first contact practitioner role. So that just means that by you doing these degrees, you do not magically get your HCPC registration, which allows you to start applying for jobs in the UK. So what you've got to remember is that these programs are as a step up once you've started your career in the UK, and if you are already looking for jobs in the UK, they do not give you a HCPC pathway or a key that allows you to then complete the degree, get your HCPC directly once you've completed the degree and apply for jobs. So even though you've done these programs, you would then need to again apply for HCPC registration and then start looking for jobs once you've got registered. Now let's come to the final type of degrees, which are the DRAB degrees. Now these are degrees which sound really fancy, have really good terms being used to it and marketed extremely well, but they are not relevant for clinical roles. So if your end game in the UK is to work in a clinical role, so say for example as a band 6 physiotherapist, as a band 7 speech and language therapist, then these degrees are clearly not meant for you because they are just fluff. These are degrees like these, which obviously are extremely relevant from a management point of view, but again, not very relevant from a clinical point of view. So they teach you all about management, policies, leadership skills, some amount of research as well. But at the end of it, you are still uneligible to register for your HCPC registration. You are still uneligible for most clinical jobs as a part of the completion of the degree. And finally, you might even face visa challenges because you are again not relevant in terms of employability and clinical skills once you've come out from this particular degree. So if your goal is to work in a clinical job role or in clinical practice, either in the hospital or in a community setting, then I would say stay away from these degrees that you are seeing on the screen right now, because all they are is that you will be spending more than 25,000-30,000 pounds to live in the UK, do this degree for a year, but they are not improving your employability chances. So now coming down to the last part of this video, which is how do you know which degree is the right fit for you? The first thing you want to do is check if it is HCPC registered or NMC registered based on your profession. If it is registered with the appropriate registration body, then obviously you are on the right track in research and this is a degree that you want to pursue from the university that you are interested in. The second thing I would highly recommend for you to do is check if there are any clinical placements or supervised practice, because that again gives you a bit of an entry point into the working market. Even if you are not being paid for that supervised clinical practice, that's absolutely fine. Gain that relevant experience for 2 or 3 weeks and build yourself up, because that clinical exposure goes a long way in helping you land a role, because it gives you a bit of an understanding of what the UK healthcare system looks like. The third thing that you want to do is look for universities that partner with NHS Trust, because what then happens is, say for example, if they've partnered with a certain NHS Trust which is local to that particular area and you complete a placement in that area, a lot of NHS Trusts are actually looking for good employable band 5s and band 6 physios, OTs, speech and language therapist, or any other healthcare professional. And if they feel that when you were on the placement and you did really well with them, they might inform you of any upcoming opportunities for employment or relevant opportunities that might be there that might not even be open to external candidates within the trust. So make sure that if you are looking for universities, there might be tie-ups with NHS Partner Trust, and make sure you're asking that question when you are researching them. Drop them a simple email and they should get back to you. The fourth and the most important step, and this is something I recommend to my one-to-one clients as well, is always network with alumni. So say for example, if you are interested in, for example, Manchester Metropolitan University, always connect with people who've done the course in the last 2 to 3 years to gain an understanding of how were the course modules, what they found interesting, what were some of the key drawbacks from the program, and how long did it take them to land a job based on it. Because these four questions will help you gain an overall outlook on what the program was like and what it meant for that person to graduate from that particular university. And it will give you a clear idea. Say for example, if you had to choose the route, these would be some of the challenges and these would be some of the tricks that you do need to be aware about when you are looking to graduate from that university and find a role in the NHS or in the private sector. Now, I hope you found this video useful, guys, and if you did, do not forget to like this video, but also drop me a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.